Sonic the Hedgehog. Play and I'll shoot at your head, dog. Well, if it isn't Goku, little ugly nigga. What's poppin', fam? Say what? You staying up? Am I staying up? What you talking about? It's hard out here for a Saiyan. You feel me? No, I don't feel you. Because you don't really talk like that. Stop the cap. I'm capping. And you're sus if you think I ain't winning this rap battle. What? Goku win this thing. Your girl did the game. We done with your chick. Told her to get my money real quick. You ain't legit. No. Your style is real. Get off my tip. Hold up, I ain't never been on another nigga's tip. Do you know who you talking to? If Chi-Chi come outside right now, she gonna look at me and say, who is that fine ass nigga? Stop the cap! You ain't got no hoes. What? Froku got no hoes. Hoes. He needs to calm his fro. That boy's a clone. With darker skin tone, need it for long. I'm fly like a drone. Sit two beams in my zone, your girl about to moan.
Yo, girl moaning, jumping on me like I'm showing. She say put it in a colon. Now she can't walk the Poland. I mean walk, I be strolling. Froku talk, he be trolling. I might take his hair, pick and then fucking defro him.
Nice verse, Gohan, but next time, watch your goddamn mouth! Ladies ass no, Goku. Never touch a black Saiyan's afro. It was actually the curse words I had a problem with. What? If you want to touch his hair, Gohan, go ahead. He ain't gonna do shit.
Yay!
Oh, y'all think this a game? Okay, but if I take my belt off and get the beat in his ass, I'ma be the bad guy.
Daddy!
Don't worry, Gohan, he's all talk. I'ma be talking while I'm whooping that ass. Unless we're sparring, we do not believe in hitting our kids. I will bend Gohan over my knee and beat the brakes off him.
Hold on, hey. Don't be yelling at my daddy, Milk.
Who's that? My son.
I go by Frohan, little ugly ass boy. And we finna heat y'all ass up. But I'm not even cold.
Me either. Boy, I'm finna put him in the dirt.
In the dirt.
I'm overpowered, they say Froku need a nerve. Familiar player, about to send you to the nurse. Can't be no clone when I smash Chi-Chi first.
My dad smashed on your wife. Since then, she ain't had it right. Big money, y'all money look light. We selling that tree that might. Gohan don't get out of hand, dog. Frohan fly off the hand, dog. Wizard with the stick like Gandalf. Playing, I wipe your whole clan off.
Wipe your whole clan off the block. Now decided gotta start. Where my money, where my guap. Chi-Chi took it off the top. Y'all just mad cause Chi-Chi is my groupie.
Hey.
And she let me power up in a coochie. That was incredible. The wordplay, the flow, the whole thing. Whoa!
That boy pulled out the blicky.
He big man. Put the strap away, Gohan.
But Dad, he said he powered up inside Mom's.
Yeah, I know, but Gohan, look. A gun doesn't make you a man. These make you a man. You win some, you lose some, but you live to fight another day.
That's for Friday.
Hell yeah!
That's my shit.
That's a classic, bro! Thanks for watching, hit the like, Thanks for watching, hit the like.
You're watching Unrelenting Gaming. This is Vegeta, the prince of all Saiyans. Make sure you subscribe to Unrelenting Gaming and push the like button for me. Not Beerus. You know how this works. Make sure you enable all notifications on the channel and watch the entire video all the way through. And don't forget to follow Unrelenting Gaming on both Instagram and Twitter. That's enough. On with the video.
So with Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 89 now scheduled to be released on January 20th, we now have more of a basic understanding as to what is about to transpire prior to the events of the Gammas being born along with Cell Max. As we now have our very first look as to what is to be expected going into this manga chapter, the question that everyone seems to be asking is, will the discovery of Dr. Gero's hidden confidential CD be what leads to Dr. Hedo getting arrested, and at what point in the story are we bound to see Goku and Vegeta pick Broly up from planet Vampa and bringing him on over to Beerus' planet to train? As a quick little reminder before we dive deeper into this video, if you just so happen to be new to this channel and want to be kept up to date with everything in regards to both the Dragon Ball Super manga and any and all things involving the Dragon Ball IP, then I do encourage you all to head on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon, so that way you can always be up to date and notified as to whenever a brand new video is posted onto the channel. On top of supporting this channel by giving this video a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below if you guys simply cannot wait and are excited to see what's about to unfold as Dragon Ball Super continues, because the following Dragon Ball Super manga chapter number 89 draft summary spoilers goes as follows. Now, as of course you guys can see on your screen, it would seem as though our story continues with Trunks being shown on his computer, and which according to Herm, several days have passed after the events have occurred on Butterfly Mountain, and Trunks really seems to have no luck in opening the databank in which he had retrieved from Dr. Hito's safe, which he's really trying his best to figure out what this super secret confidential information within this databank actually is. So what Trunks ends up doing is he ends up using his mom's computer just to kind of see if that computer can help him out, in which it actually does, because what Trunks ends up discovering here, as of course you guys can see, is there is information on this databank that goes all the way back even to Cell from Dragon Ball Z, which one could assume the fact that this is the information that Dr. Hedo actually uses to create Cell Max later on. So one could only imagine that in a way this is the first time that Trunks is learning more about Cell, or at least what presumably might be Dr. Gero's original blueprint that went as far as to create Perfect Cell. But a little later on, it seems as though after having to open up these files, it triggers a malware on Bulma's computer, and Bulma ends up completely flipping out after finding out that Trunks actually broke her computer yet again, which there's even a line from Bulma to tell Trunks that he had inherited Vegeta's actual talent in breaking things around the house. So what's even more is, for the first time we actually get to see Bra, and she ends up fixing the computer within a moment's notice, because it really goes as far as to show the difference now between Bra and Trunks, because Trunks appears to be dumb, but his little sister, who is presumably what, 3 years old at this point, or maybe even a little older, is far beyond what he is in terms of having brains, because she ends up fixing the computer while he ends up breaking it. So later on, to which as of course you guys can see, Bulma has a request for Trunks to get Mai to school and not be late. And so, since Mai appears to be Trunks' age, they end up going to school, and Bulma now has enrolled her in the same high school as Trunks, to which Trunks now obviously is very excited that, hey, the girl that he likes just so happens to be going to the same high school as him, even though Mai technically really isn't the same age as Trunks, but I digress. Even though we from that point get to see how he does end up taking her to school, the title of this manga chapter is quoted as being "A Rival Appears," and this rival that could be perceived as being someone that Trunks will be encountering will be someone from his own high school. But either way, a little later on in the classroom, as of course you guys can see, Mai introduces herself to the entire class, and people are very impressed by how grown up she appears to be, and it also kind of seems as though the classmates are asking if Mai has a boyfriend, as Trunks does not take kindly to this at all, because he seems to be getting angry at all of the classmates around him, obviously trying to protect the girl that he likes, to which Toyotaro did mention how this manga chapter specifically was supposed to be focused around Trunks, and specifically focused around his relationship with Mai. If you're going to be expecting Black Frieza or Cell Max or even the Gammas to be born, I don't think that's going to even remotely happen anytime soon, because it kind of seems as though they're going to be following the slice of life stuff for a little bit of quite some time before we get into the action of maybe even remotely seeing what happens after the events of Dr. Hedo Zero getting sent to prison and stuff like that, right? To which either way, as of course you guys can see later on, a new student actually ends up arriving by the name of Better, to which Trunks immediately ends up noticing how Mai seems to be infatuated by him. She keeps looking at him, and obviously this makes Trunks jealous. So while all of the girls, specifically the one that he likes, is just eyeing this kid down, Trunks really doesn't seem to be happy by this. But either way, a little later on, as of course you guys can see here, we have an NBA Street showdown going down, because Trunks here is shown crossing up all the other kids on the court, as even Herms ends up noting that all of the other kids seem to be salty and a bit jealous that Trunks is really good at basketball, which I personally enjoy. And what's even more is all of the other female classmates begin to cheer Trunks on, except Mai, because Mai ends up noticing something, to which that's when the previews from that point then come to a close, because it cuts off right when Mai notices something very unusual, which could either involve Trunks or maybe the new kid that just arrived at the school. But either way, we're gonna get more information as the week goes by, so make sure you guys tune back in to find out what that is. So to where by the very end of this, I want to go ahead and get your thoughts down in the comment section below about how you guys feel about the spoilers, and if you believe that all of this romance involving Trunks and Mai is really necessary for the overall story going forward, because whether or not you're a fan of Trunks and Goten is irrelevant, because the question then becomes on whether or not the characters are in fact going to play an intricate role after the entirety of Cell Max and the Gammas are over and done with, because if their only purpose is to develop now and to do what they did against Cell Max's Gotenks and nothing more, then what is the point of then developing their characters as the story continues if they're really not going to have, or at least play, a major part in the story? So again, we are going to have additional spoilers, information, news, and updates for you guys as the week goes by. So again, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so very much for your time. To where once again, if you guys are new, then I do encourage you all to head on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon, so that way you guys never miss a single video that is posted onto the channel. On top of giving this video a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below. Tune back in for more. I appreciate you guys for being here as always. Happy New Year, and with that being said, I'm going to be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy guys and have a great day. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to Unrelent Gaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms. Sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell. Me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.
This is Chi-Chi shaking her butt in slow motion, and that's great, but AFK Arena is also great. AFK Arena is a free-to-play idle collectible RPG available on Android, iOS, and PC. You can build up a personalized team. I should say adorable, but don't let their cuteness fool you. Your heroes to craft the perfect It's your boy Goku, and this song goes out to all my Chi-Chis. And I want y'all to get on the Nimbus and just throw that ass back. Like, Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. I was surprised when Chi-Chi threw it back. I was like, damn, look at that ass clap. I said, go ahead, make that ass pop. You finna catch this Kamehameha. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Chi-Chi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. back, it made my power level rise. I heard Frieza came back and he trying to fight. I would save the world, but I'm preoccupied. Gigi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Gigi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Gigi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Gigi threw it back on the Nimbus. Hey, hey, hey. Thanks for watching, hit the like, dog. Thanks for watching, hit the like, dog. Like, dog. Stop playing, hit the like, dog. Look at the merch. Oh my God. Look at the merch. Ooh-wee. Look at the merch. Oh my God. Look at the merch.
It's been a question that nearly every Dragon Ball fan has asked themselves at one point in time. What if Vegeta took the time to learn the Kaioken technique, and how would it affect the story moving forward? How's it going, everyone? Innovative J-Dog here, and welcome to the very first inclusion of my Dragon Ball What If series. I've seen just how popular these types of videos have become, and I've had plenty of you already suggest scenarios to me, so I figured now would be the perfect time to kick this series off. In today's video, I'm going to tell you the story of Vegeta learning Kaioken, when it would have made sense for him to learn it, and how it would affect future outcomes for the story. But before we dive deep into this what-if scenario, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all my Dragon Ball content. For this video, let's aim for a pretty simple goal of 1,000 likes, so make sure to share this video out to all of your friends, and with that being said, let's get started. Unlike what many people think, Vegeta learning Kaioken wouldn't drastically alter the story of Dragon Ball Z, it would rather change the events of Dragon Ball Super. The reason behind this is there's not really a whole lot of opportunities for Vegeta to learn Kaioken in Z. In the Saiyan and Frieza arcs, there's absolutely no way for Vegeta to learn the technique, as he wasn't close to Goku or his friends at this point, nor would he be able to keep his body in the afterlife to go see King Kai, you know, since he was evil and whatnot. During the Android Saga and Cell Saga, Vegeta was more focused on trying to achieve Super Saiyan, so he wasn't really thinking about the technique at all, and when he finally did achieve the Super Saiyan transformation, trying to learn Kaioken just didn't make any sense. Upon entering the hyperbolic time chamber with Trunks, Vegeta was now focused on ascending beyond Super Saiyan, so once again, learning Kaioken was out of the equation. Besides, Goku went in after him to train with Gohan, so there wouldn't be an opportune moment for Vegeta to train with him. That was, if he even wanted to at all. During the 7-year time skip after the Cell games, both Goku and King Kai were dead due to Cell self-destruction, so there would be absolutely no way for Vegeta to train with either of them during this period. He'd be unable to reach them in the other world without instant transmission. There is, however, a perfect spot amidst the Buu arc where Vegeta could have learned Kaioken, and this was, of course, after his heroic sacrifice against Majin Buu. Now, we all know from the original series that King Yama allowed Vegeta to keep his body and offered him the opportunity to fight Majin Buu once more. Originally, Vegeta was quickly escorted back to Earth by Baba, since the entirety of the Buu saga takes place in such a short amount of time, but what if Vegeta hypothetically had some time to train in the other world in preparation for his rematch? In this scenario, King Yama summons Vegeta to his office and provides him the same permissions that he gave Goku way back in the Saiyan saga, and that is, the opportunity to train with King Kai. Hesitant at first to learn the same techniques as his eternal rival, a technique that once humiliated himself in combat, Vegeta declines the offer. But King Yama is persistent. He tugs at Vegeta's pride and points out the fact that he gave up his life for nothing, since Buu is still alive and well. This prompts Vegeta to remember that even when he had his power awakened through Babidi's magic, he was still unable to defeat Buu. He was useless. But then, he remembered that Goku had used the Kaioken to amplify his own strength and speed to different extents. Vegeta gets the idea that this technique could come in handy if used in a way that Kakarot hadn't even thought of. If he could learn the Kaioken technique and stack it on top of his Super Saiyan transformations, he might be able to become even stronger than he was as Babidi's slave. Vegeta decides to take King Yama up on his offer and agrees to train with King Kai, but due to his planet being destroyed from Cell, he wouldn't have to take the time traveling down Snake Way to meet him. Either way though, by this point, Vegeta is way faster than Goku was back in the Saiyan saga, so traversing the other world would be no sweat. After being pointed in the right direction, Vegeta locates King Kai and demands for him to teach him the Kaioken technique. For the remainder of Vegeta's short time in the other world, he learns the basics of the Kaioken and taps into it for an instant, much to King Kai's shock. At this point, Vegeta is way above what Goku was capable of back in the day, and thus he was capable of learning and handling Kaioken much faster. He doesn't get the opportunity to get used to the drawbacks of the Kaioken before he's ushered off back to Earth by Baba, but at least now he understands how to activate it. Upon arriving on Earth, the battle between Goku, Vegeta, and Buhan remains the same, except Vegeta can now utilize Kaioken in combat. With how quickly he's thrust into battle, Vegeta doesn't get the chance to use Kaioken before he fuses into Vegito thanks to the Potara earrings. The battle that follows between Vegito and Buhan plays out the exact same way, except it would be really cool if he utilized Kaioken sometime before transforming into Super Vegito. That way, Vegeta could possibly become more in tune with the Kaioken. The remainder of the Buu arc remains the same up until the final battle against Kid Buu, where Vegeta still acknowledges Goku as the better warrior. Despite knowing he couldn't keep up with Super Saiyan 3 and the unpredictable nature of Kid Buu, Vegeta still steps forward to hold Buu off so Goku could regain energy. Transforming into a Super Saiyan 2, Vegeta lunges into the fight but quickly gets beat down by Kid Buu, and Goku drops out of Super Saiyan 3. With both Saiyans on the verge of defeat, Vegeta comes up with the plan to destroy Buu with the Spirit Bomb. As the Namekian Dragon Balls are gathered and used to restore the Earth and revive all those who were killed by Buu, Vegeta is brought back to life as well. As Goku summons energy into the Spirit Bomb, he's left wide open for Kid Buu to attack, forcing Vegeta to leap back into action to buy him some time. This is the perfect opportunity for Vegeta to display Kaioken for the very first time. He may not be able to stack it on top of his Super Saiyan forms quite yet, nor can he push it to its limits as he's still weak from Kid Buu's beatdown, but any bit of added strength helps. Goku watches in awe as Vegeta dashes around Kid Buu using the Kaioken, but it isn't enough to make a difference. He may have had more of a fighting chance than he originally did, but he's still put down relatively easy. Goku proceeds to throw the Spirit Bomb down onto Kid Buu, and the battle is won. From this point forward, the story begins to change. After the defeat of Kid Buu and after learning that Vegeta also knows how to use Kaioken, Goku reaches out to the Saiyan Prince, offering to mentor him, or at the very least the two could spar from time to time and master Kaioken together. In the past, Vegeta shot down this offer immediately, but he decides to give it a chance. He declines becoming Goku's student, but agrees to train with him from time to time. For the next 4 years, Goku and Vegeta train together, focusing primarily on the Kaioken technique. They occasionally visit King Kai's newly restored planet and train there. With Goku and King Kai's help, Vegeta gains a better understanding of the Kaioken technique, and Goku learns how to control the technique better than in the past. The two of them eventually gain a substantial mastery of the Kaioken and figure out how to stack it on top of their Super Saiyan forms, an idea that Vegeta had from the very beginning. Considering the two of them had already perfected the Super Saiyan form by this point, stacking the Kaioken on top of it proved to be much more effective than Super Saiyan 3 thanks to its ranging power multipliers. The technique could be stacked and added at will, and if it became too much for them to handle, they could easily drop back into a much more efficient form, such as Super Saiyan 2, without experiencing the same level of stamina loss as Super Saiyan 3. By the time Beerus wakes up and starts seeking out the Super Saiyan God, both Goku and Vegeta have drastically improved from their fight against Kid Buu, being much stronger than what they initially were at the start of Dragon Ball Super. However, while they're much stronger at the start of Battle of Gods, the story plays out the exact same way. Beerus locates Goku on King Kai's planet and watches as he showcases all of the Super Saiyan transformations. This time, though, he throws the Super Kaioken into the mix. His fight against the God of Destruction plays out the exact same, and when pushed to his limits, Goku does something very risky and tries stacking Kaioken on top of Super Saiyan 3. He and Vegeta had barely gotten used to stacking Kaioken on top of the regular Super Saiyan, much less Super Saiyan 2, yet Beerus pushed Goku far enough to attempt to stack it on top of an already unstable form. The fight ends the exact same way, with Goku being defeated by Beerus relatively quick, thankfully before his body combusted from the immense stress. Unamused by Goku's foolish actions, Beerus travels to planet Earth with his attendant Whis to continue looking for the Super Saiyan God. Upon arriving on Earth, events play the same up until Vegeta's outburst towards the God of Destruction. When Beerus slaps Bulma down to the ground, rather than simply powering up into an angry Super Saiyan 2, Vegeta decides to stack the Kaioken on top of it, and proceeds to give Beerus a much better fight than in the original timeline. Not only does their fight last longer, but because Vegeta didn't burn himself out quickly with Super Saiyan 3 like Goku had, he managed to impress Beerus by handling himself much better with Super Kaioken 2. Beerus still lays Vegeta out though, and the remainder of the arc stays the same, with Goku arriving on Earth and becoming a Super Saiyan God. Despite being more impressed with Vegeta during their scuffle, Beerus had no opinion on who should obtain God Ki first, and thus, Goku of course got it first. After the battle with Beerus and having a taste of God Ki, Goku would start seeking out higher levels of power with Vegeta by his side, the two of them hoping to reach godlike status on their own. The two Saiyans would eventually become students of Whis and would train under him, where they would not only achieve the Super Saiyan God transformation, but were also capable of tapping into Super Saiyan Blue. When Frieza is revived, the story of Fukatsu no F plays out the exact same, as both Goku and Vegeta focused primarily on their new blue-haired transformations. After the defeat of Golden Frieza, both Goku and Vegeta decide to train in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber in preparation for the upcoming tournament against Universe 6. While in the Time Chamber, the two of them decide to ascend beyond the powers of Super Saiyan Blue by stacking Kaioken on top of it, similar to how they stacked Kaioken on top of the original Super Saiyan. This time, though, thanks to their experiences against Beerus, they'll have more knowledge about how strenuous it would be to mix Kaioken with higher forms of Super Saiyan. The two of them managed to complete their training during the 3 years in the Time Chamber, and when the Universe 6 tournament arrives, they're fully prepared for whatever challenges lay ahead. Enter Hit, the legendary hitman of Universe 6. The tournament plays out the exact same as it does in the original timeline, but when it's time for the matchup between Vegeta and Hit, Vegeta has something special up his sleeve. The battle begins and Hit proves to be a formidable opponent as he tosses Vegeta around like a rag doll. While he's doing a lot better than he originally did in this fight, Vegeta is still no match for Hit's time skip ability. He must find a way to counter it somehow. By this point, having been exposed to Kaioken for such a long time, and knowing just how fast it could be if used with Super Saiyan Blue, Vegeta decides to go for it. He powers up into Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken and attempts to counter Hit's time skip. At this point, Hit isn't as advanced as he was in his fight against Goku, but Vegeta doesn't have as well of a mastery over Kaioken in comparison to Goku, even after all their training together. Because of this, Vegeta doesn't push the multiplier as high as he could have, and as a result is defeated by Hit, but just barely. He puts up a very good fight but ultimately lost the battle. With Vegeta being eliminated, Goku steps up to take his place, and the fight between him and Hit proceeds as normal, except now, Hit has improved his time skip ability to match the basic multiplier of Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. Goku pushes Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken to the 10 times multiplier and manages to win the match as normal, but the fight is a little bit more challenging due to Vegeta's usage of Blue Kaioken. After winning the tournament, things go back to normal for Universe 7 until Trunks returns from the future, seeking help from Goku and his friends. The future Trunks arc is greatly changed as a result of Vegeta's usage of Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. Because it was broadcasted on GodTube, Zamasu just so happens to see both fights against Goku and Vegeta, which didn't exactly help his hatred of mortals. Knowing just how powerful the two of them were thanks to Kaioken, he'll be more inclined to steal both of their bodies as opposed to just Goku's. He wouldn't want to just steal one body when there's another person out there capable of using Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken who could stop him. But let's start from the very beginning. Prior to Trunks returning, Vegeta would have some time to work on Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken after his defeat. Seeing just how far Goku pushed the technique, he would train to get to that point, and by the time that Trunks came back and revealed that Goku Black was the monster terrorizing his timeline, Vegeta would be much more powerful than he was in the original series. Goku Black would then follow Trunks back into the past, and would fight with Goku like he originally did, and as a result, Goku Black would become even stronger due to his exposure to an even stronger Goku. Before being sucked back into the future, Goku Black destroys Trunks' time machine, leaving him stranded in the past. Bulma takes up the task of rebuilding the time machine, planning on upgrading it to fit more passengers if anybody were to accompany Trunks back to the future, particularly Whis and Beerus. Whis informs the group that time travel is strictly prohibited though, and even if it weren't, he couldn't intervene with mortal affairs, so them traveling to the future to help was simply out of the equation. The two decide to let time travel slide for the time being though, just like in the original timeline. Regardless, Bulma still goes through with her upgrade, and all the events leading up to the first voyage to the future remain the same, with Beerus, Whis, and Goku traveling to Universe 10 to investigate Goasu's disciple, Zamasu, and Trunks decides to spend time in the present waiting for Bulma to finish his time machine. With time to kill, Trunks decides to track Gohan down to his home, wondering just how powerful he'd become since their last meeting. If he had gotten stronger, he could potentially help in the fight against Goku Black. He gets the chance to meet Videl and Gohan's new daughter Pan, so he's glad to see that Gohan got his happy ending, but he was shocked to see just how soft Gohan had become. This wasn't the same Gohan that he knew from before. Where was the same Gohan who had surpassed everybody and defeated Cell back in the Cell games? Gohan was still certainly strong, way stronger than he was back when they last met, but he didn't have that same warrior mentality as his younger self or future counterpart, something that would help in the battle to come. He ultimately decides to hold off on asking for Gohan's help and just catches up with him instead. When the time machine is finished, Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks all travel to the future. Vegeta encounters Goku Black, who reveals his pink-haired Super Saiyan Rose transformation. Vegeta is quickly bested by Goku Black just like in the original, but what differs here is that rather than having future Zamasu arrive by his side, Goku Black has a new ally that is much more powerful. Slowly descending from the heavens, a shadowy figure drops next to Goku Black and looks down at Goku, Trunks, and the beaten Vegeta. Revealing himself, the figure turns out to be none other than Vegeta Black. Rather than wishing for immortality, future Zamasu was convinced by Goku Black to steal the body of Vegeta so the two of them could enact the Zero Mortals plan together, both of them using mortal vessels as their weapons. Trunks is pushed into activating Super Saiyan Rage early after seeing his father's face be used for such wicked purposes. He proceeds to attack the two of them and Goku follows, but the two of them are no match for the incredible teamwork shown between the two versions of Zamasu. Vegeta Black reveals that he too is capable of transforming into a Super Saiyan Rose and manages to defeat Trunks soon after. Being bested in combat, Goku and Trunks are forced to return to the past with an injured Vegeta, having gained a taste at the true power behind Goku Black and Vegeta Black. Upon returning to the past, leaving the two villains in a defenseless future, our heroes must come back with a plan, and quick. Unlike in the original, the Z-Fighters don't need to worry about fighting an immortal opponent, because rather than wishing for immortality, future Zamasu swapped bodies with Vegeta instead. They won't need to learn any new techniques such as the Mafu buff for sealing Zamasu away, they just have to deal with two immensely powerful opponents. So, they need to train with the short little time that they have left. Goku and Vegeta rush off to the hyperbolic time chamber, leaving Trunks behind to seek out backup. He turns to the only logical person who could help in the fight against Black. Trunks returns to the home of Gohan, and with the situation becoming more dire, fills him in on everything about Goku Black and what he's done to his future. He tells Gohan about the death of his mother, the extinction of Earth's population, and how the bodies of both of their fathers were stolen and used for such carnage. Heartbroken at the shocking news, Gohan is inspired to take action and help Trunks in any way he can. Even if he wasn't going to be much help against godlike beings, he was willing to try. All he had to do was tone up his weakened body, and he could be of some help. Putting on his orange gi, Gohan encourages Trunks to come with him so they can seek out Piccolo and receive proper training. He wouldn't receive as much training as he did in preparation for the Tournament of Power, but Gohan would still get about a half a day's worth of training in, and he'd have Trunks there as well. Back to Goku and Vegeta, who have arrived at the hyperbolic time chamber, the two of them plan on continuing their Kaioken training. They spend 6 months in the time chamber, about half a day in the real world, pushing their limits and discovering new multipliers for Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. During this time, Gohan starts training his weakened body through the help of Piccolo, and Trunks gains control of his Super Saiyan Rage transformation in the process. By the time that Goku and Vegeta emerge from the time chamber and reunite with Trunks, they are met with the new and improved Gohan. With Gohan armed with Senzu Beans now joining the fight, the four Saiyans return to the future with Shin and Goasu meeting them once they arrive. They're quickly confronted by Goku Black and Vegeta Black, who have been anxiously waiting for them to show their faces. The two villains transform into their Super Saiyan Rose forms and are met by Goku and Vegeta, who power up into their Super Saiyan Blue forms. Vegeta lunges towards Goku Black and leaves Goku behind to take on Vegeta Black. As the four of them fight, Trunks leads Gohan to the Resistance so they can supply them with Senzu Beans. The fight between Vegeta and Goku Black plays out as normal, with Vegeta showing a considerable amount of improvement since their last duel. Goku Black is beaten down to the point that he's forced to use Goku's Kaioken technique just to survive against the Saiyan Prince's onslaught. Vegeta smirks at Black's desperation and counters his Super Saiyan Rose Kaioken with his own improved Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, pushing it to the 10 times multiplier. He quickly defeats Goku Black, who runs off, seeking the aid of his partner, forcing Vegeta to chase after him. Meanwhile, Goku is shown to have a clear advantage over Vegeta Black, and in a one-on-one duel, Black would have no chance of winning. Upon arriving at the underground base of the Resistance, Gohan is awestruck with how little survivors are left. He asks Trunks if this is all that's left, and Trunks sadly nods his head. Gohan's body begins to shudder as his blood begins to boil. The damage that Goku Black and Vegeta Black had done to Trunks' future was seemingly irreversible, and they had to pay. The two dish out a handful of senzu beans to Earth survivors, and Gohan vows to the Resistance that whatever happens, he'll find a way to return things to normal. Trunks looks on at the now confident and powerful Gohan. He was now a spitting image of his former mentor and best friend, future Gohan. At the same time, Goku Black finally reunites with Vegeta Black and offers him assistance in his fight against Goku. The two quickly gang up on Goku, forcing him to transform into Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken just to defend himself until Vegeta arrives to lend a helping hand. Swapping opponents, Goku takes on Goku Black and Vegeta lashes out at Vegeta Black, who powers up into his own version of Super Saiyan Rose Kaioken. The two battles heat up with all four participants utilizing Kaioken to amplify their strength higher and higher, pushing their limitations to the max. The ground begins to shake as all four fighters clash together, merging their separate duels into one large tag team matchup. As the entire planet starts to rumble, Gohan and Trunks are forced to lead the Resistance out of their underground bunker and into the open air where they can see the four combatants rapidly darting around the sky at immense speeds. Encouraging Mai to transport everyone to safety, Trunks powers up into Super Saiyan Rage and dashes off towards the fight with Gohan following soon after. The two intervene in the airborne battle and push the two variations of Zamasu away from their fathers, who drop out of their Kaioken states to conserve energy. Goku and Vegeta both notice that the two Zamasus are panting and rapidly losing energy from their exposure to Kaioken. Within an instant, both Goku Black and Vegeta Black drop out of Super Saiyan Rose Kaioken. Taking advantage of the situation, Trunks dashes forward and attacks Goku Black, leaving Gohan behind to attack Vegeta Black, prompting Goku and Vegeta to both join their sons, with Goku and Gohan easily besting Vegeta Black in combat, and with Trunks and Vegeta utterly demolishing Goku Black. It appears as though the two Zamasus have met their match. But then, Goku Black gets an idea. He lifts his fingers up to his forehead and uses instant transmission to get away from the father-son duo. Taking the lone Potara earring off his ear, Goku Black puts it on his opposite ear as Trunks and Vegeta dash towards him once more. Before the two can reach him though, Goku Black's body dashes away with an incredible speed. Goku and Gohan watch as Vegeta Black's body also jerks away, heading in the same direction as Goku Black. Within an instant, the two Zamasus merge into a blinding light that forces the four Saiyans to shield their eyes. When the light fades, a single silhouette emerges and begins floating in front of them. Goku Black and Vegeta Black have fused into none other than Vegito Black. Caught off guard by the sudden appearance of Vegito Black, the four Saiyans are awestruck at their opponent's godly power. No matter how hard they try, Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, and Gohan are just no match for this new fiend. Vegito Black in his Super Saiyan Rose form is just too powerful. With all hope lost, the four Saiyans are forced to retreat to safety, where they meet up with Shin and Gowasu. The two Kaioshins give Goku and Vegeta their Potara earrings as normal, and the two fuse into Vegito. Transforming into a Super Saiyan Blue, the fight between Vegito and Vegito Black plays out the exact same way as it did against merged Zamasu, except this time, rather than facing an immortal fusion that would remain permanent due to Zamasu's role as a Kaioshin, Vegito Black could be killed and could be defused. Although that is technically up for debate, since Goku Black and Vegeta Black are technically part Zamasu, but they kinda gave up their right to being a Kaioshin once they merged themselves into a mortal body. But for the sake of this story, the fusion could be defused. The fight between Vegito Blue and Vegito Black is earth-shattering as the two rapidly throw similar techniques at each other. Trunks and Gohan are unable to intervene as it would mean certain death to get in the middle of the ongoing battle. Much like the original fight, Vegito Blue gains the upper hand and his beatdown is relentless. He plans on finishing this fight here and now. There's no reason not to finish Vegito Black off for good. Vegito Black realizes that he's at his limit. With one last attempt, he powers up into Super Saiyan Rose Kaioken and uses all his might to put down his opponent. Within an instant, Vegito uses instant transmission to get behind Vegito Black, he powers up into Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, and fires the final Kamehameha into Vegito Black at point-blank range. With the already powerful beam being enhanced by Vegito's usage of Kaioken, Vegito Black screams as his body is caught in the blast, and when the screaming stops and the blast fades, there is nothing left but dust where Vegito Black once stood. Using up all that power, Vegito defuses and both Goku and Vegeta fall onto the ground, drained of energy. Gohan and Trunks drop down next to their fathers as the remainder of Earth's survivors rush up to congratulate their heroes. The future had been saved. Goku Black and Vegeta Black had been extinguished. But while the evil was gone for good, the damage had already been done. Earth's population was drastically dropped to a small fraction of its original size, and the vast majority of its cities had been destroyed. With no future Piccolo or future Kami alive, there were no Dragon Balls, and with no Dragon Balls, there would be no way to return everything back to normal. But then Gohan remembered back when he traveled to planet Namek with Krillin and Bulma. He checks the bag of senzu beans he brought with him and notices that there's just one remaining. He takes it out and tosses it to his father, encouraging him to eat it quick since they still had one task left to do before returning home. Gohan tells his father to use instant transmission to take both him and Trunks to New Namek so they can locate and use the Namekian Dragon Balls to bring everybody back. Goku gets ready to go and tells both Gohan and Trunks to hold on to him, but before the three disappear, he asks if Vegeta wants to come with. Vegeta declines, and thus the three teleport to New Namek. Upon arriving on New Namek, the three Saiyans are met by the Namekian people who are eager to help those who saved them from Frieza all those years ago. It doesn't take long for Goku, Gohan, and Trunks to locate all the Namekian Dragon Balls, and once they do, they summon Porunga. Gohan takes charge of the wishes and requests for Porunga to bring back everybody who were killed by Goku Black and Vegeta Black. On top of this, he also wishes that all the damages they had caused were reversed so that planet Earth could return to the way it was. Back on Earth, the dark green skies brighten and life is brought back to the planet. Birds begin to chirp and the sounds of confused citizens start surrounding Vegeta, Mai, and the remainder of Earth's survivors. The sounds of joy fill the air as survivors are reunited with their family members, their friends, people that had been lost. Getting to his feet, Vegeta floats into the air and flies off without a word. He arrives at the newly restored Capsule Corporation building and discovers future Bulma, alive and well down in front of the building. Dropping to the ground behind her, Vegeta watches as the woman he loves turns around, her face sunken in and aged in comparison to the Bulma that he knows from the present. Her eyes widen and begin to water, but before any tears can fall from her face, Vegeta wipes them away with his gloved finger. He pulls her in close and the two embrace, making up for years of lost memories. Vegeta apologizes for his future counterpart's lack of compassion that he may have shown towards her and their son, but Bulma quickly shuts him down. She knows how good of a person Vegeta turned out to be, and knowing that she played a role in showing him the light was all that she needed. Giving Vegeta a kiss on the cheek, Bulma thanks him for visiting her one last time. Back on New Namek, after having their wishes granted, the three Saiyans prepare to return to planet Earth, but there was one thing left unchecked. The three seek out Dende and ask him to accompany them back to Earth so he can become its guardian, just like in the original timeline. Because of his close friendship to Gohan, Dende agrees to come with, and with that, the four use instant transmission to return to Earth. Goku, Gohan, Trunks, and Dende all arrive next to Vegeta and Bulma at Capsule Corporation. Seeing his mother alive and well, Trunks breaks down in tears and embraces her, thinking that she was gone for good. With everything back to normal, Trunks turns towards the three Saiyans from the past and humbly thanks them for everything. He couldn't have defeated Goku Black without their help. Mai arrives on the scene and reunites with Trunks. Their mission to save Earth had been accomplished, and now they could live a peaceful life together in their own timeline. With Dende now the guardian of Earth, he could create a new set of Dragon Balls for Trunks to use whenever they were needed, and Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan say their goodbyes to Trunks and return to the past. For now, the Earth has been saved and Trunks' timeline doesn't get erased, so overall, this is a positive outcome. Trunks would go on to become the sole protector of Earth and would continue to train if a new threat ever decided to show its face. But if a danger as terrible as Goku Black ever returned, he would be able to reunite with the warriors from the past, and if they ever needed his help, he'd be able to return the favor. That was, if Beerus and Whis never found out. 1 year later, the Tournament of Power would take place. However, there is one big change that occurs, and that is of course the absence of future Zeno. Because Zeno wasn't summoned to erase Merge Zamasu, there was no need for Goku and Trunks to bring future Zeno back to the past, and thus the present timeline only has one Omni King. Goku would still encourage Zeno to host the Tournament of Power though, so there's no getting around that. But because there is no future Zeno, there wouldn't need to be a Zen exhibition match since Zeno already knows what a tournament is. As a result, there's more time for Universe 7 to prepare for the upcoming tournament, and thus they have more time to train. At this point in time, Goku and Vegeta are both way stronger than what they initially were in the original series, and because they had more time to train in preparation for the Tournament of Power, they would both master the 20 times multiplier for Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken before it even started. Gohan is much stronger as well due to Trunks motivating him to continue his training from the previous arc, and for the most part, the actual tournament itself would remain consistent with what we saw in the original. even down to Universe 7 having the same team members. Since Vegeta can use Kaioken, he would knock out a lot more participants than he initially did, and would also be more of a threat to both Toppo and Jiren, possibly pushing Toppo to his God of Destruction state sooner than expected. Vegeta would most likely still achieve Super Saiyan Blue evolution at some point, and would realize that it's about equal, if not stronger, than Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20, and thus, he would stop using Kaioken for the remainder of the tournament. He would get eliminated just like in the original, leaving Goku, Frieza, and 17 to defeat Jiren. After the Tournament of Power, Vegeta would attempt to break through his limits once more by stacking Kaioken on top of Super Saiyan Blue evolution, but before he could do that, he needed to become more in tune with Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. Both he and Goku continue to train past their limits displayed in the tournament and push beyond the 20 times multiplier. By the time the events of the Broly movie roll around, both Goku and Vegeta wouldn't need to utilize Kaioken because of how much stronger they were than Broly in his base form, but all bets are off when he first transforms into a Super Saiyan. In the original movie, Broly forced Goku and Vegeta to retreat in order to execute fusion, but in this scenario, if the two Saiyans use their improved Kaioken states, they'd have a better chance at fighting Broly. When the two pull back for their Gallic Gun Kamehameha combination, Goku and Vegeta push Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken even higher than they've ever done before, higher than times 40, and possibly even higher than times 50. Regardless of how high they amplify their power, whether it be between times 50 or times 100, both Goku and Vegeta push Broly into triggering his legendary green-haired transformation before they even fuse into Gogeta. This forces the two of them to retreat anyways, but now Broly is left behind to attack Golden Frieza. Since he's a lot stronger now and doesn't have any way to control his